Today we are moving right along in Chapter 5. Now we are on Chapter 5.4, and today's chapter title is Division of Decimals by Whole Numbers. Okay, and your learning goal for today is to be able to divide decimals by whole numbers. Have we been working with dividing decimals by whole numbers? Yeah, we've been using a couple of different methods to divide decimals by whole numbers. What are some methods we've been using? Yarden? We used estimation yesterday. What else? Joseph? If you forget, look back at your notes. What did we do 2 days ago? We were also dividing decimals by whole numbers, but we were using a different method, a different strategy. Yes, Joseph? We use base 10 blocks. Another word for that is, Karan? Another word for using a quick picture is, Claire? Yeah, we were modeling with base 10 blocks and with the quick picture how to divide decimals by whole numbers. And so today we're going to take our understanding and take it one baby step further and use a different strategy to divide decimals by whole numbers. Okay? When we divide decimals by whole numbers, which is going to be the dividend? The decimals or the whole numbers? Which one's going to be the dividend? Siddharth?
The decimals.
The decimals, which means our divisors are going to be whole numbers. That's right. Okay. In a swimming relay race, each swimmer swims an equal part of the total distance. Okay, how many of you have ever done a relay race before, whether it's running or swimming or biking? Yeah. So in a relay race, you split up the total distance with your partners, right? And each person does an equal distance, okay? Brianna and 3 other swimmers won a relay in 5.68 minutes. If it's Brianna and 3 other swimmers, how many swimmers are there altogether? Show me with your fingers. Yeah, 4 swimmers. Brianna and 3 of her friends, okay? What is the average time each relay member swam? Okay, so of course I see words, I see a problem. The first thing we need to do is, Yarden?
What is the average time?
Yeah, the question's asking us, what is the average time each team member swam? Matthew, what's the important information we need in order to solve this problem?
So that there's 4 people who are in the relay race and that the total is 5.68.
Yeah, 5.68 minutes, right? Yeah. And that we're trying to find the average. Okay, so then you ask yourself, do I do addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division in order to solve this problem? What should we do, Liam?
Division.
Division, and what would be the division equation we would write?
I'm not too sure, but it says average, so I think you should round 5 and 68 hundredths of a minute to another.
Huh. Yeah, interesting thought. The word average sounds a lot like the word about, which would tell us to estimate. But when we find the average, we are not estimating. We want to find the exact answer today. Okay? So what's the total amount of time that it took for these swimmers to finish the relay race? Soham?
5 and 68.
Yeah, 5.68 minutes. That's the total time. And to find the average, I want to share out that time equally amongst each swimmer. So if I'm sharing, that means I'm doing division. How much total time am I sharing?
5.68.
Okay, 5.68 minutes. And I want to divide it equally amongst how many swimmers? 4. So I would find the average time by doing 5.68 divided by 4. Those of you who are taking good notes are writing this down in your notebook. Okay, so today we're going to use what we know about place value to solve, okay? When we learned how to use a model, we could draw a quick picture and divide the 5.68 equally amongst the 4 groups, right? Today, let's use place values, okay? So we're going to start with the ones place. How many ones do I have all together? Show me with your quiet hands. How many ones do I have all together? 5, right? Because in the ones place, I have 5. If I have 5, can I share them equally amongst the 4 groups? No. Can I give each group 1, though? Yeah, you can see here in the model, each group has 1, 1. Okay, so how many times does 5 go into 4? 1. Okay, So that's why they wrote the 1 there. And then we subtract 5 minus 4 is 1. So how many 1s do I have left over? 1. Okay. So we divide 5 1s by 4. And then, of course, Mom multiplies. 4 times 1 is 4. Then sister subtracts. 5 1s minus 4 1s is 1 1. And then we have to double check. This one remaining 1, can it be shared equally amongst the 4 groups without regrouping? Nope. That means we have to regroup it, don't we? We can regroup 1 1 as what? 10 tenths. Okay, so that's step 2. Now, we're on to the tenths, okay? How many tenths do we have altogether? Remember that we had 1 left over here, and if brother brings down, how many tenths do we have? 16. Can we share 16 tenths equally amongst 4 groups?
Yes.
16 tenths divided by 4 is how many tenths? 4 tenths. Okay, so I better write a decimal point here so that I know that I'm doing 4 tenths and not just 4 ones. Then Mom will multiply. 4 times 4 tenths is how many tenths? 16 tenths. Then we subtract. 16 tenths minus 16 tenths is how many tenths? 0 tenths. And let's double check. Can 0 tenths be shared equally amongst 4 groups? Nope, we don't have to worry about the tenths anymore. All right, so far we have 1 1, 4 tenths, and now we have to figure out the hundredths. Okay, so of course next brother brings down the hundredths. We started with 0 tenths, and how many hundredths do we bring down? 8. Can I share 8 hundredths equally amongst 4 groups? How many hundredths would be in each group? 2. Okay, so let's write that. All right, then we multiply. 4 times how many hundredths? 2 hundredths is how many hundredths? 8 hundredths. Good. And then we subtract. 8 hundredths minus 8 hundredths is how many hundredths? 0. Can 0 hundredths, do we need to share any more hundredths? Very good. So then, how much time did each swimmer take now that we've divided the total time of 5.68 minutes by the 4 swimmers? Zara? Yeah. Each swimmer took 1.42 minutes. Be careful here. Is 1.42 minutes 1 minute and 42 seconds?
No.
If you wrote 1 minute and 42 seconds, would that be correct?
No.
If you wrote 142 minutes, would that be correct?
No.
If you wrote 14.2 minutes, would that be correct?
No.
No, you have to be careful, okay? You could also use what you know about estimating to help you divide decimals by whole numbers, okay? So let's say we have $40.89 and we want to share it equally amongst 47 people. So we would do $40.89 divided by 7. Right, Jason? Jason, I have a question for you. Tonight when you go home and look at your notes, how are you going to know what problems we did in class? Oh, you're going to make a note of it. Excellent. Let's first do step 1, which is to estimate the quotient. Okay. Adriana, what's the first step we need to do when we're estimating?
See if the divisor is bigger or the dividend.
We need to see if the divisor is bigger or the dividend is bigger. Give me a thumbs up if the dividend is bigger, a thumbs down if the divisor is bigger. I see lots of thumbs downs, which tells me that the divisor of 47 is bigger than the dividend of $40.89. What does that mean for us? Does that mean we can ignore the decimals?
No.
What does that mean we need to do? What does that mean we need to do before we estimate? Siddharth?
We need to change the $40.89 to just tenths, or hundredths.
In this case, hundredths. We need to give it another name, otherwise known as? We need to rename it. Okay, so 40 and 89 hundredths. How can I rename that into a number that's bigger than my divisor? Ariel?
4,089.
You can say it's 4,089. Is it tenths? Would it be tenths? Hundredths, yeah. Okay, so we renamed it and we're dividing it by 47. Okay. I don't know about you, but I don't know my 47 times tables in my head. Is there a divisor close to 47 that's easier to work with in our heads? Nathan, what do you think? What's pretty close to 47?
40.
Okay, 50 is a little bit closer. And is there a number that's pretty close to 4,089 that's compatible with our divisor of 50? Jason? 5,000 is compatible, but is there a number that's also compatible that's closer? Like maybe 89 less than 4,089? Would you agree that 4,000 is closer than 5,000? Yeah. Okay, so let's do 4,000 hundredths divided by 50. And what is 4,000 hundredths divided by 50? Misaki? 80? Huh? Does this equal 80? If we have 4,000 hundredths, 80 hundredths. Good. And another word for 80 hundredths is 8 tenths. Now what you can do is you can just ignore the decimal point. And now we can do long division. So we can do 4089 divided by 47. Can we do 4 divided by 47? No. Can we do 40 divided by 47? Okay, what's 408 divided by 7? 408 divided by 7. How many times does 47 go into 408? Ariel? 9? Let's try 9. So Dad would divide, and then Mom will multiply. What's 9 times 47? Go ahead and do it on your papers. Okay, 47 goes into 408 8 times. Dad divided, so Mom needs to multiply next. What's 8 times 47? Soham? 376. Sister subtracts. 408 minus 376 is, Sidar?
32.
32. Brother brings down. How many times does 47 go into 329? Sarah?
I think 7 times.
7. Okay, and then Mom will multiply. 7 times 47 is?
329.
Which gives us a remainder of 0. So our quotient is 87 when we divide.
No.
How might we use step 3 then is to use our estimate to help us place the decimal point. Go back and look at your estimate. What was our estimate? 8 tenths or 80 hundredths. Where might I put my decimal point so that my quotient will be in the zone of my estimate? Arushi?
You should place it next to the 8, like on the left side of the 8.
Yeah. So that my quotient is close to my estimate. So the real answer, we would each get, if we divided $40.89 by 47 people, we would each get a whopping total of 87 cents. I want you to take a notice see if you can notice a pattern. Remember, it was $40.89, and here's where the decimal ended up being in the quotient. When we did the problem 5.68 minutes divided by 4, our answer ended up being 1.42. Here was the decimal in the dividend. Here was the decimal in the quotient. Are you noticing any patterns?